Good morning, guys, and we're back out here. This might be a continuance of our last video of putting the lawn block together, and I haven't been recording too much this morning, but we did go ahead and clean up the garage because it was getting pretty messy and I hate it. So we got that all cleaned up. We got the motor off the stand on the ground. I did go ahead and put the rear main seal on there, seal that up, put the spacer or dust shield or whatever you want to call that on. The oil pan is just sitting there. I really think I'm just gonna buy a new oil pan, guys. I'll run this through the hot tank and see how clean it comes, but I really don't like using oil pans that had a bearing failure. So we'll see. I think I'm just gonna buy a new pan. This crappy part about it is that new pan won't be here till the 10th. And I really wanted to start this thing this week, but that is what it is. That's very important. So as you can see here, I was laying it out for a thumbnail for you guys. We have a new clutch for this car. It's a competition twin disc. Yes, it is a used clutch, but we have everything brand new for it right here. So what I'm doing right now is just getting everything laid out. Obviously I was getting the engine down on the ground, getting ready to put this clutch on so we can put our transmission on. And once we get the transmission on, guys, this thing's ready to go in the car. So we can do the oil pan when it's in the car. I'd much rather have this thing sitting in the car, hook up everything, and then just literally have what, a downpipe and an oil pan. So pretty excited that we've made it this far. Been doing a lot of progress on it. So let's get this clutch on. What's up, guys? And it is finally time. I couldn't be more excited. We're finally gonna get the Evo together, guys. Look at this. We got our whole lawn block and trans ready to go on. I know we kind of skipped through that the other day because we were having some troubles getting it figured out with the competition twin disc, because obviously we got to use clutch, so I didn't have the instructions. And it's a little bit different than any other clutch I've ever set up before. But shout out to English Racing. They've always helped out with anything I've ever had any issues with any of my Evos. So thank you, Miles and Aaron out there, and Lucas. You guys are all great. Definitely helped out. He went ahead and shoot some pictures over some instructions for the competition clutch for me. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you. I was able to get that all together, and now we are able to get this thing together tonight. We got everything ready to go in. We're gonna get this thing jacked up. This is gonna go in through the bottom, and that means we're gonna have to get this thing pretty high. So let's get to it, guys. Big thanks to the wife. We got the engine all back in, all the mounts are hooked up. We even got the transfer case on the motor in the back. Now it's gonna be hard to see there. Pretty happy. This went in probably the most smooth anyone's ever gone in, and maybe it was just because she helped, but doing it by yourself is definitely very hard. Thankfully she helped us. We got this thing knocked out, we got it in. Also, I was talking about the oil pan in the last video about if I was getting a new one or not. My guys at Cylinder Head Service, thank you Matt, he went ahead, hot tanked this thing all last night and all today, and just look guys, this thing is spotless. So thank goodness we don't have to wait another week and a half to start this thing. So I'm getting the oil pan put on right now. Now the motor's in, I can do it very easily since it was already off the engine stand when I was deciding about that oil pan. So I'm just getting that oil pan put on, and then I'm going to start doing the wire harness. It's pretty hard to record most of this, so I'll probably just do some time-lapse stuff and get this thing knocked out for you guys. What is up guys, and today is 4th of July, so happy 4th of July everyone. I know this is going to go up after today obviously, but happy late 4th of July. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. Hope you guys had fun even with all the corona going on. Hope it was a good time with your family. So this morning we're back out here working on the Evo. I did jump through quite a bit of this yesterday. I didn't record, but to be honest guys, it's just really difficult because it's not like I can sit the camera in specific spots to where you can see everything. So until I get that head mount, unfortunately I'm gonna have to jump ahead. So we did get the thing most of the way together yesterday, and you guys saw, I think the last clip of this is gonna be me ending out for where we were at that night. But yesterday I got a whole ton done, and today should be our first startup. Fingers crossed guys. So what do we have to do today? We just need to hook up some miscellaneous wiring. We're going to be gapping the plugs. I got new spark plugs for it too to put in it, and just finishing up a couple odds and ends guys. We got to put the axles in. I already got oil in the motor. I still need to pick up some transmission fluid, but that won't be a big deal to start it. We already got our intercooler system most of the way hooked up. We got our turbo kit on, so let's just take a look where we're at. So you can see here we're pretty much back together guys. Obviously we just have some wiring we need to hook up, and this is loose. I am going to prime the engine without spark plugs in it, so I'll pull these back off. There's no spark plugs in it, so that way it's just easier to turn over. We're going to make sure that we get oil pressure built up. Other than that though, we got turbo kit on, we got everything lined up, went ahead and buttoned up most of the stuff. Now it's just going to be some small stuff today. So we are going to be jumping through this today guys. I'm going to get this stuff all set up, all hooked up. I don't know why I can't speak today. I'm gonna get it all hooked up, and then I think we'll just jump ahead to where we are gonna be doing the first start. So I don't know how long this video will end up being, because I do know I have other clips to put in here, but I'll try to make it as thorough as I can for you guys. And right now I'm gonna get everything set up to where I can get the car primed. And this is something good to do when you have a brand new engine, is take your plugs out, make sure you have your crank sensor unplugged, you know, if you want to go to the extent of not having your injectors plugged in, do that as well. Having a crank sensor unplugged will make it to where it won't fire the injectors and won't start, pretty much on any car. So let's do that. I'm gonna get that knocked out, then we're gonna get this thing primed. All right guys, we've been working on this thing all day and I've been fighting it, and finally we got to the point where we can try to start this thing for the first time. So I was battling it a lot today. When I went to go prime the motor, it was just clicking like it did when originally we had a failure. So immediately I think, okay, well then it must be a bad starter because it's clicking. The battery voltage was good. So went ahead, ordered in a new starter, got a new starter, put it in the car, still clicked. So now we start troubleshooting, and big thanks to Vivid TI, Josh. I went ahead and called him to see if he's ran into this issue before, and he told me I should voltmeter test the power wire at the starter. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird since it's clicking. So I went ahead and listened to him anyways and voltmeter tested it, and it was 0 volts. So from there I backtracked it to our fuse panel, and wouldn't you know, we had a blown fuse. So looked like an idiot, but in the end we figured it out. And with it being 4th of July, obviously we couldn't go get a fuse, so I had to run a wire on it, figure out what was going on. It seemed like the power wire to the alternator had arced out onto the dipstick tube because it's metal. So I went ahead and fixed that, sorted through everything, got everything good to go, made sure all the grounds are good, and we are finally here, guys. It's finally time. Couldn't be more excited. There is some things I would like to change on it. I'm not happy with how some of the wirings ran and how some of the vacuum lines are and so forth. So we're going to be changing stuff on it, but for now, and it being 4th of July, we're about ready to go and celebrate for tonight. So I really just want to hear this thing start up. So that's where we're at, guys. Let's see if this thing will start. We did it, guys. Look at that, fired right up. So now it's warming up. It's gonna go through a cycle. It is gonna be a little bit noisy. Hopefully you can hear me. The lifter's gotta fill up with oil, obviously, and it'll quiet down. But everything's doing good. Fuel pressure's good, no leaks. Oh man, just take a listen to this, guys. This thing sounds so good. Could not be happier, guys. I'm gonna look over this, make sure everything's going good. I'm gonna do some of the braking real quick. I'm gonna hold it at 2,500 RPMs after it gets to temp. Make sure the coolant or the thermostat opens up. So let me knock that all out. I'll catch you guys up. All right, guys, now we're through the stressful part of it. It's up the operating temperature. Done a few of the braking stuff where I like to hold RPMs up, let it rev up and down. I like to do that for at least 10 minutes. And everything's going good. There's no leaks, nothing weird. As you can hear, the car sounds freaking amazing. I mean, there's nothing that beats an Evo with cams at idle. It just sounds amazing. So now I do have to put the axles in this thing to be able to drive it, and I've decided I actually really want to drive it today. So I'm gonna bust butt. I'm gonna get axles in this thing. I do need to go get tranny fluid, and then we can maybe do first drive on this video too. We'll see. Let me get this all knocked out. The wife just got home, so she's kind of on my butt about getting going because we got plans. So let's see if we can do it.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane.